Hey designer toy fans, are you looking for a new store to check out?
Yes, we are!
Have you ever been to Rotofugi in Chicago, Illinois?
No, we haven't!
Well, you might want to check it out. It's been there since July of 2004, and they have everything designer toys. Everything you can imagine that would be designer toys, including Kid Robot,
Pins,
Safubi,
plush,
Pop Vinyl.
and so much more.
Make sure to head over to rotofugi.com and check out their online store as well, where you can pick up things and have them delivered right to your door. But if you're in the Chicago area, make sure to stop in and say hi to the Rotofugi crew.
Hey everyone, welcome to the UVD Weekly Wrap-Up, the show where the team from UrbanVinylDaily.com goes over everything there is to know in the designer toy, art, street art, and Safubi world. I'm your host, Travis Likens.
And I'm Ben Pierce.
And we're back for episode 64, which we are calling Toy Cupcakes.
Cupcakes.
So it's been a week. It's been since we were back here.
What a week.
We are now consistently consistent for 1 week.
We'll see if this trend continues.
So, but other than that, I guess we're just going to roll into the news for the week, starting out with a Kickstarter.
Ooh.
So the first Kickstarter we are going to talk about this week is actually the DIY Miss Cupcake XL from Olive 47 and Discordia Merchandising. So it's a new DIY platform based on Olive 47's design of the Miss Cupcake, and this is an XL version of the Miss Cupcake. So it's actually another pretty reasonably priced version of a designer toy. So they're looking for, looks like there's still some early birds left. So you'll be able to get it for $8 for one of those. Or it looks like the regular price is going to be $12. So I mean, you can still get on the early birds, and also you can kind of, pick up multiple versions. You can get t-shirts, pins, a whole bunch of other litany of things. But you can help bring another DIY platform to life.
What a hike to get to $3,000.
And yes, they are looking to get a goal of $3,023. They currently have 12.
And 15 cents? Without going over?
And they currently have 12 backers. So they're going to need a little bit of help from people like you. So if you're looking to create a custom version of Olive 47's Miss Cupcake, you're going to want to head over to Kickstarter.com and search DIY Miss Cupcake XL.
And I'm sure if you don't want to create your own colorway, I'm sure they'll have 15 other colorways that they'll put on Kickstarter.
So there's a chance that we will see more colorways if this is successful. The DIY Box Cat was a great example of multiple colorways available from Discordia Merchandising. So if you're a fan of DIYing and making your own things, then this is your Kickstarter for you. So head over to Kickstarter.com and check it out.
Now for print news, which I am infamous for because I always talk about prints, even though I have not bought one in a while. Tom Whalen put up his APs of the Ratatouille and DuckTales prints. So
Ratatouille. Why was it so like rhythmic?
Why was it so enunciated?
Yes.
Ratatouille.
Rhythmic. It was like you were singing a song.
Ratatouille.
So anyway, back to your story before I rudely interrupted you.
Yeah, prints. They were available today at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's in the past as of now, and it looks like there are a few colorways still available. So if you are into the DuckTales or the Ratatouille, you can still buy some. And they are either $75 or $50 or $65. That's one's 85, sorry.
So Ben is full of fake news again this week.
The 6 looked like an 8 when I was clicking on it first.
So you should write this down.
It's written down on my screen. So 75, 85, and 75, and 75.
Sweet. So if you want to get that, where do you head? Tom Whalen's
We go to strongstuffshop.bigcartel.com.
There you go. So if you're a fan of Tom Whalen, now's the chance. I personally love DuckTales.
Woo!
I just wanted a chance to say it together, so that's why I did that. But anyway,
good.
Moving on to more news. Another Kickstarter, this time from Greg Rivera, also known as Greg Mishka. It's currently over on Kickstarter. It is called I Pity the Dolls.
I Pity the Dolls.
We had to do it. So it's basically he is making a book that documents what is called the world's largest Mr. T collection. So if you don't know, Greg Mishka is a huge collector of Mr. T and Mr. T related items. So he is actually in the Guinness Book of World Records, I believe, still as the world's largest Mr. T collector. And what he's trying to do is basically create a book that takes photos of all the collection and then put it together and make a collective. The book will focus on his collection But there's a specific collection within the collection that this book is really, really focused on.
So it's collectionception.
Collectception, yeah, collectception. But anyway, so what he's doing here is, back in the 80s, there was a trend called Cabbage Patch Kids. You might have heard about it.
Ooh, a fad.
So because some people, I guess, couldn't afford a Cabbage Patch Kid, there was all these like Joanne Fabric style books that came out where you would go and buy fabric and then turn that fabric into a Cabbage Patch style doll, right?
Yes.
One of those books was a Mr. T licensed book that you would make a Cabbage Patch looking doll that is Mr. T.
If it's licensed, does he get the royalties, or does like the people who made the A-Team get the royalties?
I'm guessing he does because he was his own entity. So Mr. T was Mr. T outside of the A-Team.
Which came first, A-Team or Mr. T?
He was Mr. T before A-Team.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's besides the point. So these dolls basically were all handmade by people that bought this book and then given to their children to hike around or whatever. So Greg Mishka, has been buying those for who knows how long. And now he has a sizable collection of these figures. And this book called I Pity the Doll will take photos of all these essentially works of folk art, right? So they, they're all different in their own way. Some, people use different fabrics. They put different clothes on it. They made their hair out of different things. So every one of them looks kind of different, but they all have a clear, it's Mr. T doll. Mm-hmm. So you can currently go over to Kickstarter, search I Pity the Dolls, and you'll be able to go over and back. They have a lot of levels, including pins, an exclusive Mishka hat that has a Mr. T style design to it. Let's see what else they got. And you get, of course, the book, which is $35 if you just want the book. So not bad, not bad. They're trying to get $15,000. They are currently a little under a third of the way there. So they got a ways to go. They got 17 days, but you can help make it happen. Head over to Kickstarter.com, search I Pity the Dolls, and you'll find it.
Good. That'd be fun. Let's see. What do I got? Next up is Luke Chu and Monkey King. This is a little bit of a retrospective, but they still have pieces available in the future. So
in the future. Still could be fake news. I don't know.
This is not fake news because it is partially researched-ish. So for those of you who do not know, Luke Chu has a possessed figure that exists in the past.
Like 10 years ago.
Like 10 years ago. So this is the 10-year anniversary of the recreation of this figure, which is reimagined and redone and
made a lot better.
A lot better by our own J-Roo.
Yep.
And from what Luke's post said, that they sold through their first half of the allocation within a day, and they'll be making the second half of the allocation available at some point soon.
So what you're telling me is that if I want one, I should probably pay attention to get one.
You should.
Because I do want one of those, and I did not pay attention that they sold out.
Yeah. So I think they announced it like for a sale on a Friday and something like that.
Yep. So I screwed up on that one.
I'm sorry.
So we'll have to keep an eye out for future release information.
I know.
If we want one of those, because it sounds like they are going very, very fast.
Yeah, I think there's a pent-up want for them because the old ones are going for...
They're going for a lot of money, and from what I understand, they actually, unless they've been like left in the box for a long period of time, they're struggling with some of the, they're leaching some. Oh yeah. And the little guy with the controller, like the wire,
probably gets sagging.
It's having a lot of sagging issues, and so it's great to see something like this that they were obviously learning back when they created that. I believe that was Monkey King's first designer toy.
Probably.
So they were learning at the time, and they've obviously learned a lot over the years. So now it's cool to see it redone and brought up to speed, and be fun to enjoy for more people that couldn't get the original. So
yeah, and never mind the people that are complaining about their new ones being less valuable, because they're more valuable now. You get the original, you get the new one, and if you want to complain about having the original and having a new one come out, such is life.
Well, the old one looks it doesn't look totally different. In concept, it's the same, but it's totally different. I mean, the legs are longer on the new one. Like, it's just, it looks different, to me.
But there's still the people that complain.
I mean, but I guess what I'm saying, it's similar to the cause thing, where people are like, oh, the new causes are going to ruin the value of the old cause. No, they're not, because they're totally different. They're totally different figures.
Different size.
And they're limited in different ways. So, it's,
Yeah, the ones that have heads broken off.
We have a whole video about this, guys. You can go back and find it on our YouTube channel, but my opinion on this is old versus new doesn't matter because it's just totally different. But that's besides the point.
Hey Ben, have you ever been to Chicago?
Well, yes, I have, Travis.
Well, next time you're there, you should make sure to stop and check out this place called Gallery F.
Wow, I've never heard of them before. Where are they located?
They are found at 2415 North Milwaukee Avenue in Chicago, Illinois, and they feature some of the best artists that you can find around.
Really?
They have a major focus on local Chicago artists like J.C. Rivera, Elo, Penny Pinch, T. Monet, and many, many more. And they also bring in people from all over the country and world.
Wow, I'll really have to check them out. Hopefully there's a brewery down the street.
Yeah, you can get yourself a drink and then head over and check out all the posters and original screen prints that they do offer as well in the gallery.
Do they have a downstairs gallery?
Yes, they do. It's called The Underground. You can check out this and more by heading over to galleryf.com.
That's most of the news I have for the week. I don't know if you have anything else, but
not really. But I guess I can talk again.
We didn't write it down. So
next thing I can talk about is a little bit of a retrospective from Spoke Art Gallery's New York City branch, where they had effectively what was a Peanuts show with, I think it was called What's Going On, with Mark Drew, who did large version prints, 36 by 36 of Peanuts comic cells with rap lyrics in them.
So these were large scale prints, or
Yeah.
they're like paintings?
Paintings.
Oh, you said prints.
I meant pieces.
Okay.
Large scale
So
pieces.
when you said that, and then you had told me the price earlier, I was like, what?
Large scale pieces.
Okay.
So it's like acrylic on canvas and other stuff like that. Where one of them that I remember is Snoopy kicking on the back door. It's like kicking down the dough with the fofo. And there are other ones. There's Nas ones and other ones. I'm not going to go through all of them as you laugh at me for the fact that I just
brought it
drew
up
this out.
and you thought it out, and then you only had one.
Yeah, I can look. I guess I can look it up on my phone.
So, but yeah, I mean, I saw some of the pieces. It does look like a really cool show.
I really wish they made prints of them. I'm sorry that I'm cheap, but
How much were the pieces when you
they are
inquired?
$2,200 a piece.
Yeah.
But they are 36 by 36, and they are making a print of one of them.
Sweet. There you go. Smaller.
I don't necessarily like that one though. It's this one.
Well, I'm sure they'll make more of it.
Yeah, it's the one that they're making a print of is maintained by Nas. It says, "Life is parallel to hell, but I must maintain."
Yep. So, but I feel like they'll make more additional prints if that
Yeah.
one goes over. I mean, it has the context, so it's two popular things, right? So Peanuts and hip hop. So I don't see why.
I'd really like the Garger Girl one.
Yeah,
that has Woodstock with a bat.
I just don't see why they wouldn't make more prints as it kind of keeps going, you know. So,
Yeah.
but it was a really cool looking show, and if you happen to be, is it still on display? Do you know?
Yeah, it's on display.
So I would imagine that if you happen to be near the New York City Spoke Art Gallery, you could still walk in there and see all these pieces on display before they go join people's collections. I'm sure they're going to sell a lot of those pieces.
And since I mentioned the print, that it's an edition of 100, it's 24 by 18 and $100, and will go on sale at some point this week. And so you were encouraged to sign up for their newsletter so that you can be the first to know and not miss out.
So are you a member of their newsletter, Ben?
I am not.
Okay, well then now we won't know if it's being released or not.
It is. I got an email that told me it'll be available this week. Sign up for the damn newsletter if I don't want to miss out. Because, like most people who inquired, they're probably like, "Oh, look, it's a painting. Maybe I can afford it." Nope, out of my budget.
Everybody else that emailed them could
I
afford
also
it.
did not
That's why they said
realize-
serious inquiries only.
That'd be for buying them. I just wanted to see what was available, mainly because I couldn't see the pictures at work. Because the website was not working while I was at work.
Well, there you go. So
It's my own fault. Anyway, now that you want to talk, how was your trip to Connecticut?
So for people that might not have listened to our return episode last week, I traveled my way out to Connecticut to go to the Mutant Vinyl Hardcore times Justin Ishmael show called All Out War that was held at the Death Vaults Gallery in Connecticut. It's the gallery that Mutant Vinyl Hardcore puts on everything at. So traveled out, had a lot of fun, and continuing our fake news joke. There's actually a newspaper that was in, I believe it was like Pennsylvania, West Virginia, or part of Ohio, like the eastern part of Ohio, that they had a newspaper like stand, and the the slogan for the paper is "Real news all the time."
Oh,
So they're
Real trustworthy.
they are taking kind of the fake news thing to a new level by saying that they are real news. So
Was this like at a truck stop, or how did you come across
it
this?
was at a truck stop. Yep. So you're driving across the country, doing almost 2,000 miles.
Sometimes you got to pee.
You're gonna see some funny stuff. So, but so we traveled out and got to go to the show. Got to tool around Connecticut a little bit, eat some of the local food and whatnot.
Pizza.
But the main thing we want to talk about is the actual show here. So at the show, there was a lot of custom painted Mutant Vinyl Hardcore figures and original figures by Justin as well. And what they would do is some of the figures were painted by, they kind of swap back and forth, right? So some of the MVH's figures were painted by Justin and the whole 9 yards. But it was a lot of fun. It's always fun to go to those shows because it's like kind of a gathering, right, of people that are all the kind of same and have like a similar interest and all that kind of stuff. So you see some friends, you see some people that you haven't seen in a while, and everybody kind of hangs out and eats awesome tacos and drinks beer, all provided, as part of the show. And it's a lot of fun. And I was lucky enough to be number 27.
Whoa, barber.
So I was kind of in the middle of the pack as far as drawing. But I was lucky enough to get the piece, one of the pieces that I was really interested in owning. So I was lucky. Not everybody's as lucky if you end up way down.
So here's the real testament to the show. How many pieces are on eBay right now?
I have not looked. I don't look at the eBay very often anymore.
But it's just a curiosity thing, not the...
I think so. We've talked about this in the past. I think we talked about it on the last show.
Will they take a picture of you?
They did take a picture of me, but that was not for like blasting me if I put it on eBay. But the show over time, Rich is trying to make it a lot better in the fact that if somebody RSVPs and they're coming from Ohio, that somebody that just shows up and gets a lottery ticket does not get priority over that person, right? Ah. So he's created a new system where you RSVP, the RSVP puts you on a list that he then pre-draws tickets for those and gives you a number, assigns you a number. So we ended up, the first, there was like 70 people that RSVP'd. So like the first 70 people all had a spot previous, like ready to go.
Showing intent to come to the show. Yeah.
So when we arrived, it was already posted up on the wall, TL number 27. So some people thought it kind of took away from the kind of excitement of the show because you're like, is my number going to draw? Is my number going to get drawn? Is my number going to draw? But if you're someone like me that's driving clear from Ohio, it's kind of nice to know that you're going to have a spot. Now, I will say though, while I was in the middle of the pack, there were people that drove from far away that were
did not RSVP.
Well, they did, but there were 70 people that RSVP'd, so you might end up at like 65, right?
So were you the 27th person to RSVP, or?
No, he randomly draws your number.
Oh, okay.
So he puts them all in a bucket and then randomly draws the number. But there's no guarantee that you're still going to, I guess.
That's true.
I don't know if anybody walked away empty-handed that didn't choose to walk away empty-handed. There were a lot of pieces available. But it's just hard. It's a risk no matter what. I mean, I went there, as I've told people on here before, for the Paul Kaiju show, and I walked away empty-handed. So you just have to know that that's a possibility.
For those shows, as far as prices selling or pieces selling, does it work from the middle out towards the cheap and expensive, or is it all over the place?
It's all over the place. But in this particular show, most of the people that were purchasing right off the bat were getting the Berserkers. Okay. It's been a while since Berserker has been available to purchase, and those were not the most expensive pieces available, but they were, what I would call big pocket money. They were like 800, 850, stuff like that. So those were going a lot in the first few picks. The second most popular one was probably the DX, which is what I got, but there was only 5 DXs.
Okay.
So I would say out of the 26 people before me, I got 1 DX, 4 other DXs went. There was some smaller stuff that went, and somebody went for the marbled colorway that was like a addition for the show.
Okay. Were you the last DX, or you just one?
I was the last DX.
Okay.
So I was sitting there like, am I going to get a DX? Am I going to get a DX? And I did. But there was a little bit of nerve wracking still. Yeah. Because somebody took the one previously, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to get it. And they were on 25, and the guy was standing there. He's like, I'm thinking about getting a DX. And I'm just like, no.
Just punch him in the back.
And then the guy, then he takes a Berserker, and I'm like, thank God. And then the next guy took like something.
A keychain.
No, I think he went straight for like a Galagalact. I can't say the guy's name.
Galagalactus?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I'm really bad at saying that word, and I felt like an idiot at the show the whole weekend. I'm trying to say it. So, but I'm like sitting there like, oh my God, am I going to get this thing? And then I did. So it was pretty sweet. But there's always a chance that you're going to end up with nothing. And that's kind of part of the fun, right?
Yeah.
But when I say you get nothing, that's not exactly true, because you get the whole experience of going and having fun and seeing people you haven't seen in forever. So is it really the end of the world? And even if I would have ended up with one of the colorway figures that was like the micro run that they did, the marble figures, that thing was awesome too. Like, so I don't think anybody that got a toy walked away feeling like they didn't get what they wanted or ended up with something totally crap or anything like that.
Did they release how many pieces were at the show? Like if you had 70 RSVPs and probably some people on the tail end.
I mean, I'd say there was enough there for everybody to get something. Okay. Whether or not everybody wanted, like, some people might have been there, I want a Berserker.
Yeah.
Maybe all the Berserkers are gone.
Obviously, that's the risk you run. But
like that kind of a thing. And I mean, that kind of happened to me with the Paul Kaiju thing anyway, too, because at the end, they finally drew my number at the very end, but the only thing available was a mock bat, and I already have a mock bat. And I'm going to reveal some collecting habits of myself. I usually only buy, like, unless it's like a dunny or a platform toy, I usually only buy one of something. I'm generally not let me rephrase that. If it's not a platform toy and it's not like a buff monster thing, I usually only buy one of something. So like with Paul Kaiju, I usually only have one of each sculpt. I don't buy like 10 sculpts. Right?
So with the one mock bat that you have now and the one mock bat that you could have had,
yep.
Are you a trade up sort of collector where it's like you have one that you liked, one that you like more? Do you trade the one that you liked, or do you sell the one that you liked in favor of the one that you like more?
No.
So
not usually.
Whatever your first one was is the one that you're.
I'm usually, because it's kind of like the same way I am with most collecting. It's like I want that thing, I get that thing, and then I move on to the next thing. Right? I'm not like, oh, I have to have 10 of these. I have to have every colorway of this thing. That's not how I collect.
Okay.
But
so
everybody
you don't trade up either. So you don't have like, all right, this is the standard black edition. Oh, this is like the swirl edition.
Well, and I think also too, though, like I think Safubi collecting and soft vinyl, we don't want to get into that discussion, but like it kind of trains you a different way. Whereas if it was readily available, you might swap back and forth more, right? But because it's harder to get, once you get the thing, it's like, well, the next thing's just as hard to get. So when I get the chance to buy that, I should buy that, right?
Even if you used the mock bat as trade bait.
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't trade a lot. It's hard to trade stuff sometimes, like just because you don't know if you trust the other guy on the other side. If it's somebody you know, that's totally different. But if it's some rando or something like that, and I don't usually trade around. I mean, I would love to get myself a Toxagon. I've been trying to get one of these for literally like 5 years, and I've yet to find one. Other than on eBay for like, $2,000 or something stupid. And, I just wait and eventually it'll come to me.
Yep.
That's kind of the way I've kind of started collecting. So that's kind of how, I feel like that's how soft vinyl trains you. It's like, if I put in for the lottery, if I get it, I buy it. If I don't, then I'll wait for the next one. Right. Yep. That's just kind of what I do. So I don't know if other people are listening to this that are collectors, but are you a multi-colorway collector?
Or are you a trade upper?
Trade upper? Are you a like one and done like myself, or what do you do? The collecting habits are interesting, and I think it's an interesting part of our scene that a lot of people don't pay attention to is just like how people collect, because essentially that is the entire like concept of the scene, right? Is figuring out how people collect and then making things that people want to collect and collect in a way that they end up with all of them. So there's one or two people out there that I've seen that have an entire run of Lunas. Like they have all the colors of Luna.
I think I know some people that have them too.
I mean, like real collectors, not the people that made them, right?
Sure.
Like real collectors have sought out every color of Luna, and I think that is like the coolest thing in the world. But that's not how I collect, right?
Yeah.
Like,
thankfully, it wasn't that hard to collect all of them.
Well, if you didn't back,
and if you didn't go to 5 points, I guess and if you didn't go to
if you didn't back the Kickstarter.
Yeah,
if you didn't back the Kickstarter, you had to find it, and we didn't make extras. So I've only seen like 2 or 3 on eBay. So
good for us.
It's hard to find it. So I don't know. I just, all in all, though, back to the discussion at large. The show was fun. I had a lot of fun. I got an awesome toy. It was great seeing people. It was great seeing Rich. It was great seeing Justin. I'm excited to see everybody again at 5 Points here in a couple of weeks, the weekend of June 2nd and 3rd. There's going to be a lot of great Sofubi and designer toy, like Western vinyl, whatever you want to call it. There's going to be a lot of great stuff available at the show. And if you have the chance, next time that they have a show at Defaults, and if you're a soft vinyl collector, I highly recommend going out. Just know that there is a chance that you might not get something, or you might not get the exact thing you want. But he puts on an awesome show, provides you with food, gives you a good beer to drink, and that's good enough for me.
It should be. Food, beer, and toys.
So other than that, I mean, it's kind of a slow week for toy news. I think we're kind of in one of those a lull in preparation for the upcoming 5 Points Fest. And the Designer Toy Awards and all that kind of fun stuff that's coming up here in New York City, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be there, what are you looking forward to? There's been some reveals like popping up here and there, but nothing like huge at this point. We're also nearing the reveal of whatever's going on with Super Plastic.
Oh.
So that's happening on the 15th, whatever the big reveal is. The countdown is almost over. We don't know anything.
We don't know anything.
They don't tell us anything.
We made our initial guess, and we have not even touched it since.
Well, nothing's really. They just keep revealing them. Have you been looking at the reveals?
Like just the one we talked last week, which we had no idea who the person was.
And then there's the Macbeth one that was like it has a Macbeth look to it. And they showed off the Pete Fowler one, I believe, the Booby one, and then someone I saw the other day, and I was like, oh, I don't know who that artist is, but okay, cool.
Yeah.
I did notice though that I kind of wonder if they'll start showing on the 15th. We start showing the actual pictures of the figures.
Wow, okay.
I don't know if you noticed. It looks like all the figures so far, they've shown 3D renders of the figures. So they haven't actually showed any of the actual like production of the figure, just 3D drawings of it. So I don't know. I'm still keeping my hopes up.
I bet they're pretty janky.
Golly, terrible. So are you guys excited for Janky out there in toy listening land? If so, let us know down in the comments. What do you think your favorite design is so far? I'm still just keeping my eyes watching it.
We wouldn't be opposed if one or so just kind of showed up and we got to talk about it.
Just arrived and we could review it in person. Maybe that'll happen. I highly doubt anybody from Super Plastic listens to us, but
come on, guys, listen to us.
So, but if you, I guess we'll try to do this. You going to be in town next week? We'll try to do this again.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to get a little roll here for a couple weeks at least
before we start traveling.
Yeah. So, but as always, I'm Travis.
And I'm Ben.
Have a great Designer Toy Day.
Peace out.
Hey everyone, this is Travis Likens from the UVD Weekly Wrap-Up, and we're here today to tell you about a store.
We've got Strange Cat toys, they've got toys for you, and some beard supplies, so check them out.
StrangeCatToys.com, where you'll receive 10% off if you use the code UVD at checkout.
Thanks for checking out our video right here on youtube.com/urbanvinyldaily. While you're here, make sure to give us a subscribe and a like. And if you're so gracious, you can share this video on your favorite social network. You can always give us a follow on Instagram or Twitter at Urban Vinyl Daily, or find us on Facebook by going to facebook.com/urbanvinyldaily, and you'll be able to keep up with our latest posts and information going on in the world of UVD. If you want to help us out in more of a monetary way, you can always head over to our store, urbanvinyldaily.storeenvy.com, and check out all the awesome things we have available from great artists from all over the world. Or you can head over to our PayPal and just straight up donate to us to help us keep the lights on and keep things going by going to paypal.com and sending money over to urbanvinyldaily@gmail.com. And that will help us out in more ways than you know. If you want to keep up with everything going on in the world of UVD, make sure to head over to urbanvinyldaily.com. Or if you're interested in sponsorship information, a comment, or a question, make sure to head over to urbanvinyldaily@gmail.com and send us a message. And if it's good enough, we'll answer it right here on the UVD Weekly Wrap-Up. As always, this has been an Urban Vinyl Daily production.